welcome back to my channel. Today I want to go ahead and talk about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, which is mental health, as you guys all should know. And the topic of today is manic episodes. But before I get off into manic episodes, giving you guys a definition of what that means, I want to go ahead and make a disclosure and let you know I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that. I'm just someone who is very passionate about helping with mental health. So this is my way of kind of helping and spreading information to those who are not educated on mental health. Okay. So, with that being said, I want to ask, how is your mental health? How are you doing? And I hope all is well. I hope all is well. So, whether you're here to learn for yourself or just to support a loved one, or just to simply expand your understanding, I am so glad that you are here. So, let's just jump right into the basics. What exactly is a manic episode? So, in simple terms, it's a period where a person's mood, energy, and even activity levels are abnormally high. Think of it as being like being emotional or on a physical roller coaster. So, you ever heard someone say, "Oh, I'm on an emotional roller coaster"? Well, a manic episode is magnified times 10, times 20, times 30, depending on how this person ended up in a manic episode. Okay. So, um, a lot of people associate manic episodes with bipolar disorder because it's common, but it can show up in other ways too. So don't just let that be the all we thought, the all with all, if that's what you've heard, where people have said, hey, people with bipolar disorder, they have manic episodes. Other people with other disorders have manic episodes too. So we have to be very, conscious about, what we're saying and make sure we're educated. And that's why I'm here. Okay. So if you ever felt, if you ever felt curious or even confused about what it looks like, let's see, how can I walk you guys through it? Let's walk you through it. So let me just walk you through some of what happens. Imagine this, say if you wake up, right? You feel like you can conquer the world. You feel like, hey, I'm gonna knock out this project. I'm gonna get all of my goals done. I'm happy, but your thoughts are racing. It's not like usual thoughts. It's overdoing it. It's like I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. It's like one idea after another. And some people even say they feel invincible and energized, and some even say unstoppable. Some even say unstoppable. So, I mean, but you would think, oh, well, that's fun. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's the catch. So, this level of energy and mood doesn't come with control. So this person does not have any control over overly feeling happy, overly being optimistic, or being overly unrealistic, which is very scary. Um, People who, they may talk faster, they may jump from topic to topic, or they may take on a bunch of projects, and make risky decisions, things like overspending or reckless driving, you know what I mean? Or even arguing with their friends, or their loved one for that matter. So, and there's a flip side to it, Yes, those things are okay and maybe they can kind of work with them. But the flip side to it all is irritability. Not everyone feels a euphoric feeling during a manic episode. Some people get irritable and edgy and easily frustrated, and it's a lot, you know what I mean? So you have to keep this in mind when someone says, "Oh, I have manic episodes," or you may suspect a person of having a manic episode. Think about it, there's some what people would say positives to it, and then with some what people would say negatives to it, you know, like I just discussed earlier. So if it sounds familiar to you or someone don't worry. Like, we can talk about ways that we can manage this later on in the episode, and that's fine. Um, but okay, so let's just get back on topic. We covered manic episodes, right? So let's talk about what causes them. This is what a lot of people don't understand and is very important. the truth is there is no real answer. There is, I mean, it could be genetics. So if bipolar disorder or mood disorder is running your family or something like that, you could have a chance at having a manic episode. So it's very important to know where you came from. It's very important to know your family's medical history, just as is important for you to know and understand your medical genealogy and where you come from, because it all plays a part in how we're built and how we're set up. So keep that in mind. The brain chemistry, chemicals. Like we put so many things into our body every day that are chemicals. If you drink soda, you're ingesting chemicals. So think of your brain trying to balance, doing a balancing act with chemicals. So, your serotonin levels may be off, your dopamine levels may be off, but what triggers those things to be off? Oftentimes it's genetics, like I just said just a second ago, or it's your diet. Diet plays a big part. So if you are having these types of things or your loved ones, they say that diet plays a big part. And me personally, I've experienced it for myself. Diet plays a big part in balancing out your mood and stuff like that. So you want to be mindful about what you put into your body. Period. You know what I mean? And then of course there's stress, life stress, big life changes, trauma, lack of sleep, society pressures, just so many different things that causes us stress. The cost of food, the cost of gas, the cost, right? That's the big thing with everyone right now. That can trigger a lot of people. So think of it like a puzzle, you know what I mean? It's a lot of different pieces and everyone's puzzle looks a little bit different. So it's not a one size fits all type situation when it comes to manic episodes. There's no guarantee how you will be triggered or how it will affect you or your loved one or someone that is dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? So I guess you guys would say, well, shoot, how does that affect somebody's life? Well, it can be overwhelming. Obviously, if you look at everything that we just talked about, that's overwhelming. I mean, it's just one person. I mean, think about it. It's going to put strain on relationships, whether that be intimate relationships, your friendships, work may feel like a roller coaster, financially, impulsive decisions can lead to a lot of serious challenges. So you want to make sure that these things are in check. Go see a doctor, get you some therapy, do what your doctor is telling you to do if you have the opportunity to see one, or do some research, and figure out what can you do that's natural and won't harm you. Again, talk to your doctor about these different things to kind of help your medical condition. So that's why that's why it's so important. Again, I'm just going to go back to this diet. That's why it's so important to watch your diet on top of that, okay? So, but before I move on to how to manage these things, I just want to say that it is very important to remember that people don't choose to have manic episodes. I want to say that again. People do not choose to have manic episodes. It's not a lack of willpower or responsibility. It's simply a medical condition. I'm going to say that again. It's not a lack of willpower or responsibility. It is a medical condition. It's no different than having high blood pressure. You can't control that. You can control it monitoring with medicine and diet just like this, but there's no guarantee that it's going to go away or it's going to stop going up, you know what I mean? Or down, depending on what your medical condition is with high blood pressure. So that's why empathy and understanding go such a long way. Okay. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're talking to your loved ones that may experience this or someone you may know that may experience this. Okay. So let's get down to how do we deal with all this. So if you or someone you know are experiencing this, you can talk to your doctor, and they have things like mood stabilizers, antipsychotics, and sometimes even short-term sedatives, but it depends on what your healthcare provider say is good for you. So it's based off your health and all of that. So, or your loved one's health if you're here for your loved one. It's based off of that. And then therapy, you want to do cognitive behavioral therapy, family focused therapy can be game changers if you can get through that. Um, they'll help you recognize triggers, which will unturn. They'll show you how to, manage. They'll show you how to build coping strategies to help you kind of get through this. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, you want to try to reach out to a medical provider and go ahead and get yourself seen. So, having a schedule, like sticking to a regular sleep schedule, can be challenging. You know, I understand for most because of all the common stresses of the world, but that doesn't mean that it's over. Doesn't mean so. Um, yeah. So if you or your loved ones have been experiencing, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And remember with your loved ones, like you want to offer support without judgment. You don't want to judge, you know? Sometimes just listening can mean the world to somebody, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead, be that ear. People will thank you later, you know what I'm saying? Um, but before I wrap up, I want to go ahead and share this story with you. A reader of ours, of our blog, actually, wanted to share a story, you know, to kind of help with this topic because we've been talking about it for a little bit now. So I want to share a quick story from someone who reached out to us. And they said, when I had my first manic episode, I felt like I couldn't do anything. It was hard for me. I didn't know what to do. Life was just rough. I kept sabotaging my friendships. I look back and I realize how much damage I really done to my finances, my relationships, and my overall life. But getting help changed everything for me, and I wouldn't change that for the world. So, stories like these remind us that manic episodes can be incredibly challenging and there's still hope out there. So, it's okay. What have we learned today? Manic episodes are intense, multifaceted experiences that require understanding, empathy, and proactive care. It's that simple. It's that simple. So if you or someone you know are living with this, it's going to be okay. There are resources out there. There's medical professionals out there. There's communities out there for you guys. Um, it's help out there. You just got to reach out. And yes, finances is definitely a challenge when it comes to this because it's not a lot of help out there for people with mental health where it's, you know, if you don't have the insurance or if you don't have that bag, it's really hard to get help nowadays. And we just got to do something about that. But that's another story. So if you found this episode helpful, feel free to share it with someone who might benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more conversations like this. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Peace.